A mother's love, the unbreakable bond. Sarah, a single mother, knew the weight of the world rested on her shoulders. Every day was a battle, a struggle to provide for her daughter, Emily. But in Emily's eyes, Sarah saw a universe of love, a love that fueled her own weary heart. They were two halves of a whole, bound by an invisible, unbreakable thread. Their small apartment, though modest, echoed with laughter and whispered secrets, a sanctuary built on love and trust. Sarah vowed to protect Emily from the harsh realities of the world, to be her shield against the storms. Sarah worked tirelessly, her hands calloused, her spirit unyielding. She wanted more for Emily than a life on the margins, a life of hand-me-downs and missed opportunities. Every night she tucked Emily into bed, her heart swelling with a fierce, protective love. "You are my everything," she'd whisper, her words a promise etched in the quiet of the night. In Emily's small, trusting hand clasped around hers, Sarah found the strength to face another day. A glimmer of hope, the arrival of a Prince Charming. Then came Mark, a beacon of light in their otherwise predictable life. He was charming, attentive, and swept Sarah off her feet with his easy smile and promises of a brighter future. He listened intently as Sarah spoke about her dreams for Emily, her fears and aspirations. He brought laughter back into their lives, filling their small apartment with the aroma of freshly baked cookies and the sound of board games played until late at night. For the first time in a long time, Sarah allowed herself to hope. Hope for a partner to share the load, for someone to love her and Emily unconditionally. Mark seemed to adore Emily, showering her with affection and attention. He'd read her bedtime stories, his voice a soothing balm at the end of the day, and take her to the park on weekends, his laughter mingling with Emily's gleeful shrieks. Sarah, caught in the whirlwind of his affection, believed she had finally found the missing piece of their puzzle. Shadows of doubt, a daughter's unspoken pain. But as the weeks turned into months, a subtle shift occurred. Emily, once a bubbly and outgoing child, grew withdrawn and quiet. Her laughter faded, replaced by a haunting silence that clung to her like a shadow. She seemed afraid, her small body tense, her eyes downcast. Sarah noticed these changes, her maternal instincts screaming that something was wrong. She questioned Emily, but her daughter, her eyes filled with a fear Sarah couldn't comprehend, remained silent. Sarah confronted Mark, her voice trembling with a mixture of fear and suspicion. He denied everything, his voice laced with hurt and indignation. He claimed Emily was simply going through a phase, that Sarah was being overly sensitive. Sarah wanted desperately to believe him. She clung to his words like a lifeline, but the doubt lingered, an unwelcome guest refusing to be evicted from her heart. The fear in Emily's eyes was a constant, chilling reminder that something was terribly wrong. Unveiling the monster, a mother's worst nightmare. One evening, Sarah came home from work early, her heart heavy with an unshakable sense of dread. The apartment was eerily silent. She called out for Emily, her voice echoing in the stillness. As she walked toward Emily's bedroom, she heard a muffled sob. Pushing open the door, she was met with a sight that shattered her world into a million pieces. Mark, his face contorted in a mask of rage, was standing over Emily, who was huddled on the bed, her small body trembling, her eyes wide with terror. In that instant, everything became horrifyingly clear. The subtle changes in Emily's behavior, the fear in her eyes, her silence, it all pointed to a truth too horrific to comprehend. Sarah felt a surge of pure, unadulterated rage, a primal instinct to protect her child from the monster who had violated her innocence. A mother's fury, justice served, no matter the cost. The room dissolved into a blur of motion. Sarah, fueled by a mother's fury, lunged at Mark, her hands balled into fists. He fell back, his eyes wide with surprise and a flicker of fear. She didn't care about the consequences, about the disparity in their size and strength. All that mattered was protecting her daughter. She rained blows upon him, her screams echoing in the small apartment, the sound of her fury a terrifying symphony of pain and rage. The police arrived to find Mark nursing his wounds, his face a mask of feigned innocence. But Sarah knew the truth was etched on her daughter's face, in the trembling of her small body. The police listened to Mark's lies, his accusations that Sarah was hysterical, unstable. They didn't see the tears streaming down Emily's face, didn't hear the silent pleas for help in her eyes. They saw a distraught woman and a manipulative man, and in that moment, justice was not blind, it was willfully ignorant. They arrested Sarah, the clang of the handcuffs a sickening counterpoint to her daughter's sobs. Unwavering strength, the long road to redemption. As Sarah sat in her cold cell, the weight of her actions crashing down on her, she knew she would do it all again. Her love for Emily was a force more powerful than fear, stronger than despair. She would fight for her daughter, for her freedom, for the truth. She would be the voice that Emily couldn't find, the shield that would protect her from the world's harsh judgment. The road ahead was long and arduous, filled with legal battles and societal prejudices. But Sarah was determined. Her love for Emily was her compass, guiding her through the darkness. She would emerge from this ordeal, battered but not broken, a testament to the unwavering strength of a mother's love. For in the face of unimaginable darkness, it was her love for Emily, her fight for justice, that would be her redemption.